Hey guys, today is Thursday, March 11th, and we are going to talk about monarchy. So monarchy is a political system based on the rule of a single person who achieved this position through heredity. That means their parents or their grandparents, it passes down through generation. Typically a man, especially throughout history. Now today we know that there's a Queen of England, but typically throughout history, it was a man to his son or his grandson or his nephew. So there are two types, a constitutional monarchy and an absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy is a political system in which a king or queen holds all the power. So remember, in colonial times, King George III had all the power. We're starting to go towards a democracy too, but he holds all the power in colonial times. All right. So in a monarchy, they are not legally bound by a constitution, meaning they don't have that constitution that tells people about their rights, and that in a democracy, elected officials would have to follow. The monarch can make all the decisions for the country, whether it's like about the economy, like for trade, or if it's like about war or anything like that. The people in an absolute monarchy do not vote and have no rights. So in that way, it's very similar to a dictatorship. The government is not regulated by those checks and balances that we talked about, which make sure one branch in the democracy doesn't get too much power, right? Because we have our three in democracy. All right. So examples are Brunei. It's in Southeast Asia. And Asanal Bolkiah has ruled since 1968, and there are no elected officials. So these are pretty rare today. Saudi Arabia, remember we talked about, it's in Southwest Asia, and its leader is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And people do not make decisions, they don't vote, they don't have that constitution. Swaziland, it's in Southeast Africa. Its leader is Mswati III, and elections are held every 5 years to determine House of Assembly and the Senate majority, can't speak words. Remember that assemblies, like, they help govern, but in this case, he still makes all of the decisions, all the main decisions. So constitutional monarchy is a political system in which the monarchy has limited powers. So it depends on the country how much power they have, but typically they have very little, or they will eventually have very little. Like in the UK, the Queen can't really do much. So characteristics, it contains a two-house parliament, that the supreme is the supreme legislative body of the government. That just means it's like their Congress. Okay, they are voted into office, they make the laws, they make a lot of the decisions for the country. The two-house parliament are an upper house, the House of Lords, and the lower house called the House of Commons, commons being common people. The prime minister and the cabinet hold the executive power, like our president. They make decisions about how the government is run, and the prime minister is the leader of the majority house in the party of Commons. Majority party, not majority house, in the House of Commons. The monarchy is considered the head of state, which is mainly symbolic. She doesn't really make those decisions. In the United Kingdom, they have their prime minister, Boris Johnson, and their monarch, their queen, Queen Elizabeth II. It's made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Okay, there is a Northern Ireland and a main Ireland. Okay, they're two different countries though. One is part of the United Kingdom, and one is its own country. So it's in northwestern Europe. And then Canada has the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and its monarch is Queen Elizabeth II. Its Prime Minister makes all of its decisions. Queen Elizabeth holds the title of Queen in 15 countries today, and Canada in North America is right above us. So it's right above us on the map. So here's us. Canada sits right above us. And Australia also has Queen Elizabeth II as their monarch. The Commonwealth of Australia is a sovereign country, meaning they're their own country, comprising the mainland Australian continent, the island of Tasmania, and numerous smaller islands. And their prime minister is Scott Morrison. Remember, a prime minister is like a president. They're elected. They make governing decisions. All right, we're gonna get into our show it. All right, so we're gonna do a few of these together, and then the rest you can do by yourself. What type of government is a political system based on the rule of a single individual who achieved this position through heredity? Remember, that's monarchy. Monarchy. All right. What are the two types of monarchy? So remember, that's absolute and constitutional. Make sure you use a complete sentence, though. The two types of monarchy are absolute and constitutional. All right? Which of the following is a list of the countries that have an absolute monarchy? So it's going to be Brunei, Saudi Arabia, and Swaziland. And then, who is the monarch of 15 different countries around the world? It's Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II. Right? You guys can do the rest. You got this. You're so smart. Have a wonderful Thursday.